One of the reasons that we started InterServe Ministry is that Sue and I really believe that the longevity of a staff person is really directly related to how the system of the congregation is set up to receive somebody new to its system.
I think InterServe Ministries is really important because I think it gives congregations the time that they need to be able to really think about how do we want to go and how do we want to grow in ministry.
What InterServe allowed us to do at Family of Christ was to have a comprehensive visioning process. And so they allowed us to not just replace someone in youth ministry and continue and maintain our ministry, but to actually take some time, some thoughtful, prayerful time to think about what our ministry was, what it currently was at the time, and what it could be in the future, and really where we wanted it to go.
Having an InterServe associate was very important for us. We had had a long tenured youth director for 11 years, which is very unusual. And so there were a lot of relationships that were established, and it was very difficult for many in our congregation when he left. And so having an InterServe associate was very helpful because it helped us to grieve the loss of that staff member, and also helped us to prepare to look toward the future.
Our InterServe associate came on board at a time when we had other staff transitions happening. We had 2 of our 3 pastors were new. So we weren't in a position to know who we were as a team, who we were as a congregation, what direction were we headed. So the associate was there in an important time of helping us identify that and being effective in ministry, keeping programs running and going well. And then by the time we were ready to hire someone, we think we were in a much more attractive position to get real quality candidates.
As I began to look for new youth and family ministry positions, I was excited to find out that some of the ones that were available within the Synod had been served with a InterServe ministry personnel. I was excited to hear that because I know that through InterServe, the congregation would be ready for a new staff person to come in with realistic expectations, as well as having had some healing time prior to looking for a new candidate for a position.
And before the mission trip, I was like, who is the weirdo that's going to come in and take over? But he turned out to be a pretty cool guy.
We really appreciated the sense of team that the associate brought. There was never any question that they were fully on board and fully supportive of what was happening and helping us to look towards who we were going to be.
And every day that we work together, and we love working together as a team, we see the fruits of that ministry that happened during our time with InterServe.
It was important to have this interim period for my congregation because it helped us to focus on moving from a model where youth were just one aspect of our congregational life. And our associate, our InterServe associate, helped us to learn about integrating youth into all aspects of ministry, that youth aren't just a part of the ministry, but that they are a part of every part of what we do. So
the ministry is built from the congregation up and not from a staff person down. And we believe that that's a successful model for ministry because when the congregation cares about young people and nurtures the faith in young people, that's really what has shown and proven to be effective.
Even though we're there for only a short time, I think we're always surprised at how deep you can go with young people in their faith and to encourage them in their walk and just to deal with everyday life stuff. So
we thought, we were like, who was going to take over? Like, it's like a couple weeks away from it. And I was like, who was going to come in and do this? And I think I only met him like once before we actually left. And then when we got on the trip, it was just fine. I mean, everyone got really close with him, I think.
And one thing that he did so well was he involved so many different people from within the congregation. You know, the youth themselves, their parents, other staff people, leaders within the congregation. He brought everyone on board.
Shortly after we got involved with this ministry and began this ministry, we realized that the 2 of us couldn't do this alone. And so we really had to go out and look for quality people to work alongside us. And every single time somebody new came on board with InterServe, Chris and I would just sit back and go, oh, they're so much better than we are. And they really are wonderful, wonderful people. And we have learned so much from our associates, and they are so great, and we're so happy to have them as partners in ministries with us.
what we found has been amazing people of amazing faith, most of all, and then secondarily, they love kids and they want to see a congregation succeed at the work that they're doing.
what would you say, life and energy and love for youth ministry, and I really think that that attitude has carried these couple of years now since we've had the associate. It affected the kind of people we hired, and we'll still describe, as we're thinking of a person or personality, we want someone like, and we'll think of our associate because of the gifts that she brought.
I think his purpose is to mainly just help us move on to the next person, because I know he's not going to be here the whole time, but like he's just supposed to be like that middle person. It's just help us get from one to another.
And so they were ready to begin building a new relationship with the new youth and family ministry person, rather than saying, oh, so-and-so used to do it like this, or how come we can't do it the way they did it. There had been enough of a break that they were ready for fresh ideas and a new beginning.
In the end, our goal is that they would have somebody that they invite into their congregation that truly fits their vision and their mission and their values.
I'm okay with the fact, like, I get that he's going to leave, and that, like, you can still get close to them, just, you know he's going to leave. Just keep it in the back of your mind.
6 years ago when we began InterServe Ministries, I would never have guessed that we are where we are today. We have grown in so many ways, we have learned so many things, and all those things that we have learned have brought us new ideas and new ways of ministry, and it's really been fun to be on this journey. And not only am I happy and excited where we are, I'm so hopeful for where we are going, because I really believe this ministry can expand and grow in new ways that will be exciting and helpful for congregations.
And we're excited to see what the future holds and how God is going to use this ministry.
If the church wants to move forward with cutting-edge ministry and ministry that's really current and serving families with what they need today, InterServe it's the perfect time for InterServe to be here and working with the church. So.